الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear brothers and sisters, welcome to the Friday prayers at the historic mosque, the Sheikh Abdullah Kulliyam Masjid here in Liverpool, which was established by Sheikh Abdullah Kulliyam in 1887, almost 130 years ago. Alhamdulillah, we were able to re-pray here again after 106 years of closure. This information is only for those of you brothers who are here very new. And the lovely thing about this masjid is every day we have new people visiting this masjid. Yesterday we had visitors from, in fact he's still here, from Leicester, Birmingham, Walsall and other parts of the country. So it's very appropriate for us to repeat our historic element here. And some of you might find it boring, but please bear with us for the brothers who are very new visiting the masjid. Jazakumullah khairan. Yes, last week's collection was £1,170. MashaAllah, it was really good. But out of that, just a word of warning, those of you who are carrying Royal Bank of Scotland's £20 notes, be very careful because £20 was a forged note, it was a fake note. So the bank sort of screamed. When I went to banking it, the bank said, this £20 is not real, it's fake. So he says to tell our congregation that careful about the £20 note of Royal Bank of Scotland. So, jazakallah khair for that. I'm going to ask this brother to go around and do the collections, but please be very generous about giving. We are almost approaching the last 10 days, which starts from tomorrow of Ramadan. Remember, Ramadan is a month of giving, is a month of charity, and if you give £1, you get £70 worth of reward, for example, 70 times more reward. So, please be generous with your donations. 2 du'as. Our brother is smiling, his sister is critically ill in hospital. Please make special dua for her. She's in the intensive care unit. I'm told she's making good progress at the moment, but still needs your dua. And Dr. Shakur, who is one of our founding members of this masjid, his wife is very critically ill again in Preston. So please make dua for them. And dua for all the people who are unwell, and special dua for all our deceased and dead. Remember, this is the month of mercy. asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive us all and forgive all our debts as well. Just another announcement, the 30th of June, which is next Thursday, Human Relief Foundation is have arranged an event, a charity event at the Pakistan Center. So that's Thursday, 30th of June, which is next Thursday, starting from 6 p.m. I think you do need to get some tickets. Am I right in that? So please buy a ticket and be yourself there on the 30th of June, which is next Thursday, at the Pakistan Center. And they will be collecting money for the Syrian people who are affected by this political turmoil, of crisis and so forth. On next Friday, the 1st of July, we at the Abdullah Kulli Masjid are going to have a big iftar here. So this is a big iftar, is a national event which is nationally being carried out, and it's mainly for us as Muslims and also non-Muslim friends. So please bring your non-Muslim friends, neighbors to the iftar here, and we'll have a special program starting at 8:30. So we'll start the program at 8:30 and we'll have iftar together with all the non-Muslim friends and neighbors. We will hope to get some civic dignitaries as well, the likes of bishops and councillors, as well as our non-Muslim communities. So that's about it really. If anybody would like to contribute £1,000 to become a founding member of this masjid, please come forward. If you commit your refounding membership as £1,000 now, in this month you get 70 times more barakah. And you can pay that over 1 year, 2 years or 3 years. So £84 or £42 or £28 a month. Now I really would like everyone to be a refounding member of England's first mosque. This is your contribution to this masjid. This is your legacy for the next generations. So please bear that in mind and do come forward before the Ramadan. Jazakumullah khairan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep us all safe and well. Ameen.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah.
Alhamdulillah. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، له الملك وله الحمد، بيده الخير كله وإليه يرجع الأمر كله وإليه المصير. وأشهد أن سيدنا ومولانا وعظيمنا وحبيبنا محمدًا عبد الله ورسوله وصفيه وخليله، بلغ الرسالة وأدى الأمانة ونصح الأمة وجاهد في سبيل ربه حتى أتاه اليقين. فصلوات الله وسلامه عليه كلما ذكره الذاكرون وكلما غفل عن ذكره الغافلون. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. أما بعد، يقول الله عز وجل بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم، بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم: يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. ويقول: يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم، ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. ويقول: يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله ولتنظر نفس ما قدمت لغد واتقوا الله إن الله خبير بما تعملون. ويقول يا أيها الذين آمنوا إن تتقوا الله يجعل لكم فرقانا ويكفر عنكم سيئاتكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم والله ذو الفضل العظيم. ويقول النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم اتق الله حيثما كنت وأتبع السيئة الحسنة تمحها وخالق الناس بخلق حسن. فاتقوا الله يا عباد الله. اتقوا الله في السر والعلن. We begin with the reminder of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who in many verses in the Quran has told us to have taqwa Allah ta'ala. And taqwa Allah ta'ala, being conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, being aware of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, being in the state of fear of the punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, living by the regulations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and preparing ourselves to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All of these are to be captured within that one word, taqwa Allah ta'ala. And that's how Sayyidina Ali radiallahu anhu, that's how he explained it to us. He said, التقوى الخوف من الجليل والعمل بالتنزيل والرضا بالقليل والاستعداد ليوم الرحيل. He said, taqwa Allah ta'ala is to be fearful of the majestic one, and it's to act in accordance with revelation, and it's to be pleased and content with little, and it's to prepare yourself for the day of departure, the day that you meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So be conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in everything that you do. That was the advice and the instruction that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam he gave us. He told us, be conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wherever you are. Wherever you are, whether you're alone or you're with people, in the mosque or at work, at college, at university, with your friends, wherever you are, ittaqullah. Be conscious that whenever there's two of you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the third. Whenever there's three of you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is four. However many of you there are, small or large, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is always there with you. وَهُوَ مَعَكُمْ أَيْنَمَا كُنْتُمْ. He's with you wherever you are. He knows everything you say, you do. He sees everything you do. He hears everything that you do. So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us, اتَّقِ اللَّهَ حَيْثُمَا كُنْتُ. Be conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wherever you are. وَأَتْبِعِ السَّيِّئَةَ الْحَسَنَةَ تَمْحُهَا. And whenever you do slip, because even the greatest of the muttaqeen, even those who are constantly conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will slip, will make a mistake. And even in this great month of Ramadan, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is showering down upon His mercy and forgiveness and freedom from hellfire. There's a month of rahmah, a month of maghfirah, a month of itq min an-nar. Even in this month we'll still slip, we'll still commit sin, we'll still do wrong. But what the Prophet ﷺ told us to do, whenever that happens to you, أَتْبِعَ السَّيِّئَةَ الْحَسَنَةَ تَمْحُهَا. Whenever you do a wrong, immediately do a good deed. Immediately do a good deed. Don't let the bad deed remain with you. Immediately follow it with a good deed. إِنَّ الْحَسَنَاتِ يُذْهِبْنَ السَّيِّئَاتِ. Because good will wipe away and remove. It's not just about doing the good. It's so that there's nothing whatsoever of that bad that you've done ever recorded against you and shown against you in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. تَمْحُهَا الْمَحْوَ الْكَامِلِ. It will wipe it away completely such that there's no trace of the sin that you've done. وَخَالِقِ النَّاسَ بِخُلُقٍ حَسَنٍ. And deal with people in a good manner. And deal with people as you want to be dealt with. And deal with people as you want Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to deal with you. This is the wasiyyah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is the counsel that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam he gave us. Today we're in day 19 of Ramadan. The days have passed quickly. We moved out of Ayyam al-Rahmah, Awwaluhu Rahmah. We move out to the first 10 days of mercy. And now we're coming to the very end. We're coming to the very end of the Ayyam al-Maghfirah, wa awsatuhu Maghfirah. Days of forgiveness, where we should have been turning back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala all the time, accepting that in these middle 10 days we are going to slip, because the euphoria and the energy that we had at the beginning is weakened. In these middle 10 days it gets weaker, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling you these are Ayyam al-Maghfirah, and we have today and tomorrow left of Ayyam al-Maghfirah, the days of forgiveness. But then we're going to move into the last 10 days, and these last 10 days are the real, it's the pinnacle of Ramadan. The last 10 days we're going to move into on Saturday night, tomorrow night. This is the pinnacle of Ramadan. It builds up. Because first you have rahmah, mercy. But then you go to a higher degree, which is maghfirah, forgiveness from the wrong that you've done. And then you move into the highest of all degrees, what we all wish for and we seek for. وَآخِرُهُ عِتْقٌ مِّنَ النَّارِ. These last 10 days from Saturday until Yawm al-Eid, from Saturday until the day of Eid, these are the days that the Prophet ﷺ said, these are the days of freedom from hellfire. These are the days when many of us will become utaqat shahr Ramadan. Many of us can become just by a dua, and maybe not even by a dua, just by the fact that we're worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in these last 10 days, utaqat shahr Ramadan. Those who would have been destined, even though we're believers, there's no guarantee we're going to escape punishment of hellfire. Every single one of us has to cross it. وَإِن مِّنكُمْ إِلَّا وَارِدُهَا. Every single one of us has to cross. كَانَ عَلَىٰ رَبِّكَ حَتْمًا مَقْضِيًّا. That's an absolute decree with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There's nobody's going to be exempt from crossing the bridge of hellfire. There are many places on the day of judgment where you'll be excused. There will be people who will be sweating on the day of judgment as they're waiting for the hisab, for the questioning to begin. But there'll be many تحت ظل عرش الرحمن who will escape those ahwal of Yawm al-Qiyamah, those frightening moments of Qiyamah. Many will be excused from that. تحت ظل عرش الرحمن, beneath the shade of the throne of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There'll be many يدخلون الجنة بغير حساب. There'll be many. The Prophet ﷺ said 70,000 of my ummah will enter into paradise without any questions being asked. And from those 70,000, for every one of them another 70,000. And then ثلاثة حثيات من حثيات الرحمن. 3 handfuls Allah just throws them into paradise without being asked any questions. There are many from this ummah who will be excused from the questioning of the day of judgment. There will be many who don't receive a suhuf. There's no mizan, there's no wazn, there's no questioning, there's no scrolls that will receive in the right hand or in the left hand. They won't be even shown what they did in this world. There'll be many where there'll be no scales put out for them, no deeds getting weighed for them. Just يَدْخُلُونَ الْجَنَّةَ بِغَيْرِ حِسَابٍ. But nobody, not even the Prophet ﷺ, not the Anbiya, nobody is going to miss the crossing of the bridge. وَإِن مِّنكُمْ إِلَّا وَارِدُهَا. Every single one of us has to see the bridge. A bridge that's, for some, will be finer than a hair and sharper than a blade. Finer than a hair and sharper than a blade, and you'll be told to walk. And you will walk. And this is believers. But not everybody will get across. In these 10 days of Ramadan, we can have a guarantee we'll get across. If we're from Ataqat Shahri Ramadan, we can have a guarantee we'll get across. You're a believer, there's no guarantee you'll get across. The only ones who are guaranteed are the prophets of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And those who are excused from questioning, they're guaranteed to get across. As for you and I, we have to cross, but we don't know whether we'll get across. And as comes in a hadith, on the sides of the bridge, kalalib an-nar, the hounds of hellfire, dogs of hellfire waiting beneath the bridge to pounce upon anybody who falls down and to drag them into hellfire. We can be saved from that by these 10 days of Ramadan. These 10 days that are going to come. All we need to be is in the footsteps of Al-Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Just be like the chosen one sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The one whose worship went to unimaginable levels inside the month of Ramadan. And then in the last 10 days, إِذَا دَخَلَ الْعَشْرَ الْأَخِيرِ أَيْقَظَ أَهْلَهُ وَشَدَّ مِئْزَرَهُ. When he sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he entered into the last 10 days of Ramadan, he woke up his family. They did not sleep for the last 10 nights of Ramadan. No sleeping, no time for sleeping. This is time for salvation from hellfire. This is time for itq min an-nar. It's not time for known. It's time for salvation from hellfire. And we're fortunate here. We've mentioned this repeatedly. From Maghrib until Fajr. From 9:45 until 2:30. You don't need to go to sleep. If you're in the Muslim world, Maghrib comes in about 7 o'clock. Fajr is about 4:30. It's going to be hard to stay awake. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's given us this great favour that we don't need to sleep through that night. You finish Taraweeh, you finish Qiyam al-Layl, you stay in the masjid, and you have your sahur. all those moments. In the previous 20 days, when we stop praying, we'll sit down and start talking to people. Don't talk to anybody. Just read some Quran. Stand up and pray some more. Make some extra supplications to your Lord. Make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't let any moments of these last 10 nights of Ramadan be wasted in a state of ghafla, in a state of heedlessness. Just remember what's at stake here. In these last 10 days of Ramadan, you can be guaranteed salvation from hellfire. Don't miss the chance that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us. In some narrations it mentions that the Prophet ﷺ was so busy in worship in the last 10 nights of Ramadan that he had no time for sahur. He did not even eat sahur. And we're going to sit down and have a large meal for iftar. Iftar, you must break your fast. You must break your fast. But sahur, there were occasions in the last 10 nights of Ramadan, the Prophet ﷺ would not even stop to have sahur. How long does it take to have a date? How long does it take to have a sip of water? We should be ala qadam al-Mustafa. Be in the footsteps of the Prophet ﷺ the moment that the Saturday night comes in. Just constant worship all the way through. The Prophet ﷺ, ayqadha ahla, shadda mi'zara, literally means he tied his loincloth, his izar. He tied his loincloth. But this is a metaphor, this is a kinaya. Ijtahada fil ibadah. Ma lam yajtahid fi ghayri. The Prophet ﷺ got so busy in worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to the point where he tires himself out, like he would not do in other times. And his other times of worship are difficult for you and I. But in the last 10 days he never stops worshipping. He doesn't even stop for sahur. He doesn't even stop to have one date or a glass of water. If your worship is ala qadam al-Mustafa, if your worship in the last 10 days and in the footsteps of al-Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wasallam, then you have the right to celebrate Eid. Eid is a celebration for those who exhausted themselves, those who tired themselves out in the last 10 days of Ramadan. It's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence that Eid comes after 10 days of worship. Eid al-Fitr is after the last 10 days of Ramadan. Eid al-Adha is after the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah, both of which the Prophet ﷺ exhausted himself in worship. Tomorrow, from Maghrib, we need to get ready to get busy with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Forget what's happened now. Forget what's happened. You might have done a lot in the first 10 days and slipped in the middle 10 days. You might not have done anything. You might have just treated it as a normal day, just don't eat and drink. Forget what's happened. This is the point now where it gets serious with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the point now. Even though Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, His mercy comes down in the first 10 days, His forgiveness comes down in the middle 10 days, there's still no guarantee of salvation from hellfire. This is where you get the guarantee. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will free you from hellfire, provided you worship in these last 10 days. So get busy in these last 10 days of Ramadan. Get serious with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Cut off from anybody else, whether you're sitting at i'tikaf or not. Be inside the masjid. Get inside the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And get busy with worship, even if it's just for the night time, from Maghrib until Fajr. If that's all you're going to do, just commit yourself to seeking out Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala where He seeks you. And He seeks you in the last 10 days of Ramadan. He seeks you through worship of Him subhanahu wa ta'ala. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وإذا قرئ القرآن فاستمعوا له وأنصتوا لعلكم ترحمون بارك الله لنا ولكم في القرآن العظيم ونفعنا وإياكم بالآيات والذكر الحكيم إنه سميع قريب مجيب الدعوات أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين من كل ذنب فاستغفروه فيا فوز المستغفرين الحمد لله وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد. Not only has Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala given us this guarantee that we can be min ataqa'i shahri Ramadan, that we're from those who save from hellfire, we have a guarantee of salvation from hellfire in these last 10 days of Ramadan. If you pick up in your worship, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he told us, taharraw laylat al-qadr. He said, seek out laylat al-qadr. Seek out Laylatul Qadr in these last 10 days or the last 10 nights of Ramadan. And in some riwayat, he mentioned in the odd night of Ramadan. And in some riwayat, he mentioned the 27th of Ramadan. We should not be fooled Because it's one of the bid'ah of this zaman. It's one of the wrongs and the innovations and the deviancy of Muslims in Ramadan that they only come to the masjid for the 27th of Ramadan believing that that's Laylatul Qadr. Believing that's Laylatul Qadr. And that's one of the wrongs that takes place in this ummah. We should have been in the masjid every single night of Ramadan believing that any night of Ramadan could have been Laylatul Qadr. We don't know where it is. It was lifted, the knowledge it was lifted. The Prophet ﷺ, it was revealed to him. Then a group of Sahabas started arguing in front of the Prophet ﷺ. And because of this jidal, because of this argumentation, it was removed from the Prophet ﷺ. The knowledge of what the exact night was, but he told us, seek it out in these nights. So when we behave like 27th is Laylatul Qadr, it's like you and I know something that the Prophet ﷺ didn't know. Like we have some ilm al-ghaib, like we have some knowledge of the unseen. The Prophet ﷺ was seeking it out in every single night of Ramadan. What is Laylatul Qadr? This night of power, the night of influence, the special night. What is this night? Inna anzalnahu fi Laylatul Qadr. Wa ma adraka ma Laylatul Qadr. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking the question, what's going to make you understand what Laylatul Qadr is? Khayrun min alfi shahr. One night, if you worship, it's equal to worshipping a lifetime. You get the rewards of worshipping a lifetime. There's going to be one night in these last 10 days, assuming it's not already come, where you're going to be in the masjid from Maghrib until Fajr, and you're not going to step out, and you're going to be reading your Quran, and you're going to do dhikr, and you're going to do dua, and you're going to stand and pray. You're just going to tire yourself out, because not only will you be min utaqa'i shahri Ramadan, through that, not only will you be saved from hellfire, but in addition, there will be one of those nights where you've worshipped like you've worshipped a lifetime. The Quran tells you, Khayrun min alfi shahr. It's better than 1,000 months, and it's more than a lifetime. Worshipping on one night of Ramadan equates to more than 1,000 months, which is over 83 years. Just one night, you have over 83 years worth of worship. So seek out Laylatul Qadr. And that's the reason why the Prophet ﷺ would sit i'tikaf. The Prophet ﷺ would go into seclusion. He would stay in the masjid. He would not leave the masjid in the last 10 days of Ramadan. He would not exit the masjid in the last 10 days of Ramadan. And if you're not already committed to doing this, we should always have this commitment that we go into the masjid and we don't leave. We don't leave until Laylatul Eid, until the night of Eid. If you're not already made that commitment, because you may be working and you may have other commitments, although it doesn't make sense. You've got in the last 10 days a guarantee of freedom from hellfire. In the last 10 days you've got a guarantee of one night, or a virtual guarantee of one night where you worship more than a lifetime. It doesn't make sense. We're willing to take out from work 1 week, 10 days, 2 weeks to go abroad on a holiday. Why not take out 10 days just to be with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and get the guarantees from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? It doesn't make sense when somebody says, I can't commit myself to i'tikaf because of work. You plan this way in advance, that you make sure that those last 10 days of Ramadan are devoted to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nothing busies you, nothing disturbs you, nothing distracts you. And the truth is, if you're not in the masjid, you will always find a distraction. You're at home with your family, there's always something to do. There's always something to do. You're sat in the masjid, there's nothing to do but to connect with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There's nothing to do. When we go into i'tikaf, we encourage everybody to do a khatam al-Quran. You've already been reading Quran, in 10 days do a khatam al-Quran. Some will say, how can we do that? So you're not doing anything else. There's nothing else here to do inside the masjid, except for just day after day after day, just read Quran, do your prayer. So if you've not already committed to i'tikaf, get inside the masjid in the last 10 days of Ramadan. Spend as much time as possible. Any free time that you have, get inside the masjid. This masjid should be filled with worshippers in the last 10 days. In the last 10 days of Ramadan, it should be bursting to the seams with urban. People who want that guarantee from hellfire. People who are seeking out that night, the special night. Do not be divorced from the masjid inside of the last 10 days of Ramadan. That's a warning sign for you. As one of the Salihin, as one of the righteous, he said, Ajaban lil Muslimin. How strange and weird are the Muslims. That the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, our Prophet, Nabiyuna Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, He would do certain things as a sunnah, but he would also stop doing it. He would also not do it on occasion. But ever since he came to Medina, he never once missed the i'tikaf. Because he understood what was happening in the last 10 days of Ramadan. And that's why when we enter into i'tikaf inside the masjid, any moments that you're in the masjid in these last 10 days, make niyat al-i'tikaf. Make an intention that you're in i'tikaf. Whether you're there for 1 hour every day, or whether you're there for the full 10 days. But what's the point of i'tikaf? What's the point of i'tikaf? مثل المعتكف كمثل فقير واقفا على باب الملك. The likeness, this is the words of Ata ibn Abi Rabah in Kibar al-Tabi'een. These are the words of one of the greatest of the students of the companions. He said the likeness of the one who's in the masjid doing i'tikaf is like a beggar standing at the door of a king. يقول أي بلسان الحال يقول لا أبرح حتى يغفر لي. Saying, he's not saying it literally, but his state is saying, I'm not going to leave this masjid until I've been forgiven. I'm not going to leave this masjid until I've been forgiven. That's what's at stake for the last 10 days of Ramadan. The last 10 days of Ramadan, we should not treat them as though they're nothing. We should not treat them like they're nothing. Treat every night of the last 10 days as Laylat al-Qadr. And get busy with worship. Ala qadam al-Mustafa. Walk in the footsteps of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Because that's all he would do in the last 10 days, in the last 10 days of Ramadan. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل وسلم على سيدنا محمد في الأولين وصل وسلم على سيدنا محمد في الآخرين وصل وسلم على سيدنا محمد في الملأ الأعلى إلى يوم الدين وصل وسلم على سيدنا محمد حتى ترث الأرض ومن عليها وأنت خير الوارثين. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. اللهم يا مقلب القلوب ثبت قلوبنا على دينك وطاعتك حتى نلقاك وأنت راض عنا. اللهم تقبل منا صيامنا وركوعنا وسجودنا وقرآننا وعبادتنا. اللهم اجعلنا من عتقاء شهر رمضان. اللهم اجعلنا من عتقاء شهر رمضان. اللهم اجعلنا من عتقاء شهر رمضان. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا يا مولانا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. عباد الله رحمكم الله إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون ولذكر الله أكبر.
Saya Sulaiman daripada Malaysia. Saya sedang bercakap dalam Masjid Abdullah William, masjid yang tertua di Britain. Sekarang ini masjid sedang dalam proses pembinaan semula dan memerlukan dana. Oleh itu saya menyeru supaya kita semua menyokong usaha yang dijalankan oleh pihak masjid untuk dapatkan dana untuk membaik pulih dan membarukan bangunan masjid ini. My name is Sulaiman. I'm from Malaysia. I'm speaking on behalf of Abdullah William Mosque, which is appealing to all the public to raise funds to renovate this oldest mosque in Britain. I hope, and I sincerely hope, we all support, because this is a mosque and it's our duty to help raise funds through this TV program. Thank you very much for your support.